Well, Monday, Brendan Chubb.
You made it back alive from San Diego.
I sure did make it back, and I've taken to drinking tequila. I'm a tequila
You're a tequila
sipper.
drinker?
I'm a sipper. I tend to sip the high end tequilas now.
Like the smoke. You like a smoky, like the worm in it.
I do. No. What I say to the bartender, you know, I'm a phony on many levels, and one of which I did a couple things that I enjoyed. One is which I said, I need a good sipping tequila.
Wait, why would you do? You're at a bar. Let me get. This is after.
It's a place called Seersucker.
Seersucker.
Yeah, and had a great time at the American Comedy Club.
You're around, like, I'm assuming, just a bunch of aggro alpha San Diego males.
Oh, we'll get to that.
No, I'm just saying, in San Diego, that's typical. You know, there's dime pieces, then everyone's in shape, I feel like.
Everybody's in shape.
So you're at a bar, and you feel like you have to order a fancy drink.
Every single girl does CrossFit, and every single guy does MMA, it seems.
Yes.
And there are more neck tattoos per capita than anywhere else on the planet. Calf tattoos.
Ooh, see, calf tattoo, I frown upon.
As do I.
Neck tattoo, if you can pull it off, they're my favorite.
Yes, but not a lot of people can necessarily pull it off. But
There's 3 in the world.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you,
sir. For women, too.
Thank you, sir.
For women, too, there's some sexy neck tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it goes very south if it's not for you.
Sir, and there are a lot of people that went very south in that town.
99%.
That correct. And God bless. But the gas lamp is a meat mash, a fucking meat mash of unoriginal macho and feminine energy. All due respect, but it is just muscle, dicks, and ass.
I also I think it's where chlamydia was started as well.
It is 100%.
I can't confirm that, but I assume it is.
I'm glad you brought that up. They've done epidemiological studies, and gonorrhea and chlamydia actually started there. Yes, that is the petri dish.
I saw a TED Talk on it, and it was like, chlamydia started in San Diego on spring break.
That's right.
Because I would go there every year on spring break in college, and I've done my research.
You've done your research.
We call it, I was in the field.
Not a lot of condoms being used when you get that drunk, and not on cheap Jose Cuervo.
You go into a gas station, like, do you have condoms? Huh?
Yeah. And good-looking people, I will say, good-looking men and women,
great food
in their 20s, and just testosterone, estrogen, and again a meat mash.
So this compelled you to order fine tequila.
Well, yeah. So you definitely want to wear 2 condoms usually if you're in that. But what I do,
that friction between them, it doesn't work.
It doesn't. It doesn't work. It's like taking a shower with a raincoat. Mm-hmm. So what I would do is I would go over to this place, Seersucker, kind of a nice. Kind of our vibe, right? And I would say,
gentleman's place.
I would say, I'm looking for a good sipping tequila. Now the bartender would say, well, do you want a tecacota or something like that? And I, acting like I knew what the fuck he's talking about, would go, I like that. Do you have anything even a little bit more high end? Like I know. And he'd go, well, yeah, we got the Don Julio 42, and I go, it's probably around. Let's go with
That's
that.
More my
and then
style.
I would casually go, is that a shot? Does that cost a shot? Because I'm
you don't
cheap
look cheap though.
Yeah. And he'd be like, it's about $28. I was like, for a shot, hey. Yeah, we'll do that because I'm all excited. I'm like,
especially when he takes it down,
bucks?
You can't go, nah, I don't want that one.
I can't be. My ego's too big to be cheapskate. Then it also doesn't help that I'm paying for everybody else's drinks, like all the wait staff. Of
course you are. You want to impress.
I love the wait staff. Shout out to Adam and Drew, who are the managers of American Comedy Club, and the waitresses are amazing. They're all awesome. So it was fun to kind of take those people out. But I'm the man. I'm spending money. Now, so there's that. That's the part I like to lie about knowing tequila and refusing the first suggestion. Makes me look cool. Sometimes refusing the second suggestion. Never know what
That's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
You refuse that second one, then he goes, well, what exactly are you looking for?
Well,
do you have something smokier? Or?
That's right. He goes, you want a reposado, añejo? I was like...
Then you get detailed.
How is the añejo? Don't know what it is. How's the añejo? I go, is it a little more gold? He goes, yeah, typically it smells. I go, yeah, well, let me try. Well, yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Hit or miss. And the other day, of course, the other thing I said was when Nate said, do you work out? I'm sorry, let's back up.
I'm talking about Nate Diaz.
I hung with Nate Diaz. Very exciting for me. I saw him just walk by me at this place called Barley Mash, which is exactly what it was, just a mash pit. And
it's a bar or club? What is it?
It's a bar, very popular bar down in San Diego. And I walk up and I go, Nate, I'm Bryan Callen. I have a podcast. He goes, I know who you are. Yeah, man. And he gives me a hug. And he's with his posse of dogs dogs.
His tribe.
They just come back from Tijuana, where they were fighting
I can
in a
only
pit.
imagine.
You're talking about human pit bulls.
Pit fighting in Tijuana?
Young warriors, young, with ears closed up, young, nice guys, but the kind of guys that they're young, they're in their early 20s.
If someone says the wrong thing, you're going to have yourself a problem.
Their language, they are fluent in the language of
testosterone.
Of testosterone and the martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
They can't wait. They'll kick you, punch you. They can do it 1,000 different ways. So when you're a civilian like me, mind your P's and Q's. Now, I'm an older guy, and they were very cool.
You get in trouble in San Diego with that attitude, for sure.
You can get in trouble.
If you're looking for it in San Diego, you'll find
the
it.
one place you don't want to mouth off
San Diego.
is San Diego. I had a guy just
Remember,
now.
there's also the military bases there as well.
A lot of SEALs.
Those
a lot of
boys
Navy
are no
SEAls.
punk either.
No, sir. Well, at my show, I think it was on Saturday, I had the first 2 rows were all 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. They were all, I looked at them and I just saw ears and traps. I was like, is this just all fighters? They're like, ah! And it was literally the whole 10th Planet studio. So shout out to them for coming and thank you. So yeah, it's if you're not Navy SEALs, they're probably going to do some. So
you gotta watch your P's and Q's.
Mind your P's and Q's and everything else, which is exactly what I do. And when I embarrassed myself because Nate came to my show, which was exciting, with his dogs, and we went backstage, and Nate said to me, "You work out?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "What do you do?"
You couldn't wait for him.
You train? And I said, "I box."
Oh no!
I just said I box, and I left it in the air. And then he goes, "That's cool." And then I said, "Well, let me just reiterate. I hop around a gym with gloves on. You box.
I hop around. a gym.
I will move around in a gym, and I wear headgear, and I'm not a boxer." And then I he would have died. All those guys are just doing shots of Jameson. And Nate, there was a little weed that was provided anonymously, and Nate.
Well, it is. I mean,
Nate rolled the biggest.
Legal.
It's legal.
You don't have to.
That's true. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, you act like.
I keep forgetting that.
And there might have been a joint. I don't want to.
There was a bottle of weed.
It's legal.
There was an old tincture bottle of weed that was poured out by the wonderful management. And Nate, without missing a beat, rolled the biggest blunt I've ever seen in my life.
He knows his way around.
Bro,
the blunt.
he had a tobacco leaf. It was like, I got one. And I pulled it out, and he rolled up, and it was the biggest. It was a cigar, and he was toking on it
like Arnold Schwarzenegger,
and down in Jameson, and 100% sober, as far as I could tell. But the Stevie Blue Eyes was so high, he didn't even know. He's like, dude, I'm so high.
Stevie tried jumping into that?
He tried jumping in. The
Stevie,
management, everybody tried.
Listening. Ain't for you, son.
Yeah, everybody tried. The management, everybody, and the management was excited. And Nate Diaz was there. We were all excited. I had him brought in the back way, and I look at Nate and I go, I've been working on this thing where I'm trying to go low.
That makes me sick.
And I jabbed.
People took pictures of you doing this.
Well, I know
and they
that.
send them to me.
Oh, I know that. It's embarrassing. And I go, and
I immediately send it to our friend Rogan.
I go, God damn it.
I went, hey, look who came to Bryan's show. Of course, Bryan's trying to take boxing.
Not only that, I go, I keep getting hit because I'm always looking for, and he goes, yeah, it's cool. And I go, and the next thing I know, Nate is teaching me boxing. Nate Diaz is showing me how he blocks shit, and I'm sitting there as we're both squared up, and nobody took a video of that. I wish they had, because I was learning how to block, and he's throwing it. Now you throw it a bit. You can jab me like I'm moving like that, and move that, and it was very interesting. And then we went out, we got in a fight. 6 dudes came at me.
This is the same as your Instagram story?
No, this is a different story. That Instagram story was bullshit.
Okay.
That Instagram story was bullshit.
Okay.
And Nate goes, fuck these motherfuckers. And I go, Nate, stand down for a second.
And you handled it.
Well, I opened up
From
with
what
my feet.
he taught you?
I opened my feet, and I used what he taught me. And I beat the fucking shit out. I worked bodies. I worked the body because I don't want to get sued.
Now does Nate want you part of his crew?
Nate said, man, you dog, man, you got to start fighting in Tijuana. Come out, hang out with me, train with me and stuff. And
I'm curious what kind of fighting in Tijuana. I've never heard of. I mean, there's so many shows now. I wonder why they're going down to Tijuana.
I don't know. I just don't know. But you know what?
It counts on the record too.
Oh, maybe. It just seemed like his 2 guys won too, and they were very excited. But they fit in that area. When I looked at that crew, I was like, Tijuana's a rough spot. Those guys are pretty safe. I would imagine. Well, now there are guys.
Why? Because they can.
There are cartel guys out there. Yeah, there are cartel guys there that beg to differ.
No. Yeah, that has nothing to do with it. People make that mistake all the time. That has nothing to do with it.
They got guns around there.
We'll take the toughest guy in the UFC, put John Jones in Compton. What? Yeah. No, they don't. Well, it's not a cage fight.
No. We don't fight with our hands. Isn't that weird? We'll shoot you and chop your head off.
Yeah. It's the same as actors thinking they're tough because they played a role, like a boxing
Correct.
role. Yeah.
Correct.
Same shit.
So by the way, I got a boxing lesson from Nate, so I feel like I'm ready to start actually taking fights. That's good.
We could line one up in Philly or DC.
Would love it. Please make sure it's a real opponent because I'll light him up like a fucking Christmas tree now because my Nate Diaz defense is stupid now. It's crazy.
Did you ask him who he wants to fight next or any of that?
Yeah, and he said, I don't want to fight nobody. I'm doing a good Nate Diaz impersonation. He goes, I don't want to fight nobody. But, some motherfucker gets up and goes, fuck you, man. Like, he goes, and I want to fight that motherfucker. Like, in other words, he's
waiting for someone to call him out.
He's waiting for somebody to call him out.
Well, Tony Ferguson called him out.
I think that Nate is at a point, and he's smart, where he is not going to fight unless he gets paid a lot of money.
He's asking $3 million.
Good for him. He deserves it. I mean, I want him to get paid.
He does, but that's not the way this works.
It's not the way it works.
I know you just met him, and that's the way it should go, but that's not the way it works. The only chance he would ever make 7 figures if Conor fought him. That's because of Conor. Anyone else is not even close to that money.
So, but I feel like he's got such a like an underdog. People love the guy now. Like I feel like he's the guy people would tune in to watch again. I mean, and I don't know to the tune of 3 million. But I do think $3
million ain't happening.
I do think that ever since he went, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. I feel like
you're saying ever since he beat Conor.
Yeah, I think he really gave himself
definitely a way bigger name.
Yeah.
But him versus Tony Ferguson isn't. It's not breaking records.
Right.
Him versus Khabib isn't breaking. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But him and Conor in a trilogy for the 155-pound belt. Now you're talking about the biggest fights of all time. That's the only fight.
Is there a reason?
That makes sense why he should.
Why have they not made that happen? Probably because Conor has no interest in fighting.
Serious? Well, remember Conor and Floyd.
Conor and Floyd.
Yep. That's all. That's the big payday. If that, for whatever reason, doesn't work out, I think the next fight would be Conor versus Diaz.
Your brother, Jay Schaub, sent me an old fight of Arturo Gatti with Floyd Mayweather. And it was amazing to see, as a young man, how Floyd Mayweather could make a great fighter like Arturo Gatti look like a complete amateur.
I mean, older.
They had to stop the fight.
Yeah,
he was older, I guess, wasn't he? I don't know.
Yeah. Why would Jay send you that fight?
Because Jay thinks that that's probably what will happen to Conor McGregor.
So he thinks old over his prime. That doesn't make sense.
But
so he thinks an old out of his prime Arturo Gatti would mimic a Conor McGregor?
Well, I think
that's
even a guy
awful example.
No, not really, because even an old out of past his prime Arturo Gatti is easily as good a boxer or better than Conor McGregor, right?
I'm so blue in the face talking about this because you can't. We keep going over this. Well, why wouldn't he send you Canelo? Like out of all the, why would you send Arturo Gatti? Or why wouldn't you send a Maidana fight?
Why don't you ask your brother, bro?
Well, because you're defending it now.
Well, that's right.
I can't talk Floyd or Conor anymore. I literally can't. Especially, I just can't.
Is the fight for sure going to happen?
We don't know. If it does September, I literally can't talk about it. It makes me sick. I talk about it so much.
Yeah.
Especially with people who like keep arguing box. I can't do it. I literally cannot do it.
Well, I'll make my predictions when the time is close.
We're dying to hear it.
When the time is close, I'll make my predictions.
Yeah.
I'll make my predictions.
San Diego is fun, though. San Diego is really fun. It's one of my favorite cities.
It's fun. It's a party place. I don't
with your drink thing. That reminds me with your drink thing. I remember you remember that song. I forget the song. It's with Ludacris. Something ordering hand grenades. You know that drink, a hand grenade. I've never heard of it either. But he had it in a rap song. And I was trying to look cool in front of these girls in Vegas. And I was like, I'll take 4 hand grenades. And the guy was like,
I love it.
What? This is
great.
10 years ago.
I do this stuff
when
all
the
time.
song was popular. I was like, I got ladies because they, are ordering fucking all those fancy drinks or whatever. I'm like, nah. Klopp was there. I'm like, I got this. I'll take 4 hand grenades. And the guy's all, what? I'm like, hand grenades? He's like, the fuck's in a hand grenade? I'm like, I don't know, man. I wanted to be like, haven't you ever heard that goddamn song? Work with me here, for God's sake.
Oh, my God.
But I guess it's some fancy drink in Miami or something. It has like a dime in it. It's like a fucking $1,500 shot.
Oh,
or
Jesus
like
Christ!
I don't know.
4 hand grenades.
I heard Ludacris or T.I.
That'll be $5,000. That'll be $6,000, sir.
It was so embarrassing. And I was like, fucking just. I don't know. Give me Surfers on Acid for God's sake. Work with me here, you fuck.
Fucking God.
It's so embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing, that kind of shit. I embarrassed the shit out of myself last night. Last night, first time I've been nervous to do a gig. I had to do a charity at the Dome Theater in Universal. And this incredible comic you wouldn't know named Wendy Liebman, we used to be pretty big back in the 90s, and she stopped doing stand-up. She doesn't tour. But she's got probably, I would argue, the funniest 20 minutes I've ever heard.
Dang.
Like I would put her 20 minutes of comedy, and she'll even admit that she doesn't have a lot more than that. But there are some comics that have quite simply the funniest 20, 25 minutes that is humanly possible. Mm-hmm. She gets up. And it's a huge dinner place, kind of like
what was it for?
It was for tubular fibrosis. It's a type of kids get benign tumors all over their bodies.
Is this for like? Organs. Is this like a corporate gig? Like he's all Universal employees?
It's a fundraiser with wealthy people and a lot of older sort of
similar
distinguished wealthy people. And Jane Lynch, my favorite. Jane Lynch, Jane Lynch from Glee, and she's there with the woman from The Office who plays the drunk with the red hair.
Yeah.
Great people. And they get up and with this guy, my buddy Tim Davis, and they sing. They have this comedic singing trio, and they're all super talented with this incredible band.
Jane Lynch is amazing.
Jane Lynch. And then so they destroy. They both get, Wendy Liebman gets a standing ovation.
Jesus.
Jane Lynch and I can't believe I'm forgetting her name from The Office. She gets Flannery, is her last name, I believe. She gets, right? What is it?
Kate Flannery.
Kate Flannery. It was wonderful, wonderful. And these are veterans. They get a standing ovation. Woo! Like that.
Sounds like they're prepared.
And now Mo Collins from Mad TV goes, and now the funniest man in the world, and he's so cocky, and he's so hot, and you remember when we shared a dressing room? I go, no. I go, yes. And she goes, we didn't. And she's just messing with me and asked my husband how that went. Her husband's a buddy of mine, this giant guy. And I was like, I didn't do anything. Anyway, long story short, she brings me up like I'm the greatest comic of all time. I was fucking nervous.
You were nervous?
And you cannot just start doing jokes in a crowd like that. This is where experience comes in. You know what I did? I fucking saved myself because I got Jane there. I got everybody, these are my people watching. They're all sitting on the couch right in front of me. It's a huge room. I noticed that the guitarist had played a little Spanish guitar. You know where I went, baby. You know where I went. You see me do this.
Just get them going.
I go, can you do me a favor? Come up here and play me some Spanish guitar. I want to tell you a story. When I was a boy and I started talking about that boy, I was a dancer, and they fucking went crazy.
It's the best.
And then I was like,
I haven't done that in a while.
I'm out of the woods. Yeah. I'm out of the woods. And then I fucking went from there, and it was good.
Because it'd be tough to go from those kind of performances straight into your.
You don't just start doing stand up.
No.
What?
Yeah,
they're not listening.
No opener. No, they're looking.
No.
Yeah.
They're in a very different mode, and they're standing ovation. Standing ovation.
Performance.
I thought I was going to die. I thought I very rarely get nervous. I thought time to eat a dick. I'm about to eat a dick. Time to eat all the dicks on stage. It's going to be quiet. It's going to be a disaster. And
don't need to take it.
Oh boy,
you just gotta suck it up because what you can't do is not show up.
Oh boy, I got tight. My body. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna happen. I said, fuck it.
That was like that Sunday when there was 9 people in the crowd at Comedy Works.
You remember that?
And I went, well, time to suck a dick. You say eat a dick? I said suck a dick.
Time to suck a dick. Hey everybody, this is not gonna be good.
Hey, here we go.
Because the first thing I said is, I go, I don't belong on the stage. I have nothing that's gonna get a standing ovation here.
Yeah,
this is ridiculous that they put me up last. But it went well.
Of course, you're a professional.
I'm a professional, and the only reason it went well is because I've been doing it long enough to. I
figure it out.
I would have died. Yeah, if I had been less experienced, I would have died.
You mean if I went up and just went straight into my bid?
Disaster, not your fault, but just disaster.
People just.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been
the judging eyes.
Well, it's what they say.
Is it even at the store at Laugh Factory when you're, as they say, I hate when they use, when you're killing it and you can see people like laughing and they're like, oh my God, it's on the table. You can, whatever reason, you can always look in the crowd and there will be one guy like this.
Oh, yes. Oh, well.
There's an older guy when I was between David Spade and Tom Green,
Yeah.
and everyone's killing it. And I get up there, it goes well for me, but I'm like, because what you're doing, you can kind of see the crowd. I see one guy literally just judging the piss.
Well, how about this? And last
I almost
night,
want to call him out, like, hey, Judgy McJudgers.
Yep. Last night, after I did my stuff, I was doing some stuff about charity and what I do for charity, and I'm funny. Yeah. I was doing well, but there was an entire table of older people that got up and walked out, and I was like, "Oof, okay, well, all right." But you know what it is? It's this. They always say like somebody could teach you how to do heart surgery in 3 days in terms of how to fix a heart. There's a mechanical process. You go to school for 7 years in case something goes wrong.
Yes.
And stand up is the same way. Like my experience came in where I was like, this is going to be a very difficult crowd to navigate.
So it's not
first.
A stand-up crowd. They're not there to see see the performances in a fundraiser.
There you go. And
but the same like with your comedy, some people are laughing, some people weren't. Whatever, those people walking out. But to me, it's like obviously you're funny. There might be some on your Instagram, Twitter, something like Bryan's not funny at all.
Yeah.
He's the one worst ever. But it's like when you turn the dial on the radio.
Yeah.
Like if you don't like that, obviously a lot of people like it.
Yes.
It's one of the top radio stations in the nation.
Yeah.
But then if you don't like it, you just turn the station. You're just not on their frequency.
Yeah. I really get that you're not funny. I never worry about that.
You get it.
If
I've
one guy,
I get it.
Yeah.
Everyone gets it. I've seen, go to Kevin Hart's. No,
of course.
Even Kevin Hart goes, this guy's not funny at all.
What I'm saying is that if somebody's going to say that, I always go, oh, Jesus. All right, well, I'll tell you what, come to my show. And
no, it's not even that, but it's like, I fucking hate dark roast.
They just don't like you.
I hate dark roast coffee.
Yeah.
All right, well, a lot of people tend to like it.
Some people just don't like you, and that's going to always happen. There's always a person in the crowd, or 3 or 4, or, that I see every time, no matter how well I'm doing. I mean, oft times, a girl will be asleep. She just drank too much and she's fucking asleep. I've had it many times. Or a dude is just staring at me like he hates my guts.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's going to stab you after
just
the
show.
Just
the way it is.
Whenever I talk to people after the show, fans take pictures, I go, oh, who'd you like tonight? I always ask them, who'd you like tonight? And it's just so weird, the different perspectives and what they like. I'm like, what'd you think of this guy? Not for me. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. He's one of my favorites. Like, no, not for me. Like, wow, that's crazy, man. Yeah. But it's their cup of tea.
I wish you'd seen Wendy Liebman. You would. I want you to see someone like that.
Yeah.
In fact, she's performing May 25th. We'll go. I want you to see her at some little place. But I want you to see what a master, like she's a master joke teller.
Dude, speaking of drunk bitches in the crowd, yesterday I was at Starbucks with the little man, little T, taking him out. We went for a run. I went way too far. I do not feel good. We went so far. But I was at the gym today and was like, I need an off day, especially after talking to TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah.
We're talking about overtraining. I went to the gym. It's one of the first times I've ever done it. I was hitting the bag. I'm like, I got nothing. Took my sleeves off and just fucking walked out.
Good for you.
Anyways, so I'm at Starbucks, and there's this girl behind me, and she's kind of like twitching. And I turn, I'm with my kids, so I'm way more aware of my surroundings when my kids. So I'm like looking everywhere. I turn behind, and her fucking pupils are like saucers, man. I'm like, all right, this bitch is on something. She touched my kid. I'm like, then you got to do something. She gets her drink, and then I go to get mine to put, Splenda or Stevia or what the fuck I was going to put in it, just black coffee. And she's on the thing, and she's just, it's like a glitch in a video game. She's paused on the thing going like this.
Oh, no.
But she's blocked. I would have been like, excuse me, if I could just get a Stevia, good luck with this high you got right now. But she's blocking me, going, like frozen.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, and I go, you okay? And she goes, I'm gonna pass out. I went, well, you should probably sit down. And then just this butch lesbian was like, lay off me, I got this, and just fucking took her, didn't know her, and tank top, tattoos, mullet. I'm like, get it, girl. And then just takes her, sits her down. And then she's like, I'm going to call the cops.
Was that her girlfriend? Or
no, they didn't know each other. That lady just went into fucking crisis mode.
Yeah,
I was literally like, I was just being quiet. I didn't want to cause a scene. I'm like, do you want to sit down? And then she just comes fucking she-male bulging in a tank top and a mullet and was like, lay off over her. And fucking,
gee whiz.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing anything, man. She sat her down. And then she was like, the lesbian lady was like, the Butch.
Yeah.
We'll call her Butch. She was like, I'm gonna call the cops. And the high girl's like, no. I'm like, for sure, don't get her in trouble, man. She's obviously a fucking addict.
Yeah. Well, I used to have
I was like, thanks for the cappuccino. Boosh, I'm out.
I had a neighbor who used to do blow. She would get her check from somewhere, and she would use that day to snort all the cocaine. And she would. My dog was so friendly, but I had a pit bull, and Piggy was the friendliest dog. She'd come out with her eyes like saucers, like they'd be going dang, 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 dang.
They look like great white sharks.
I'm telling you, dude, I was out with my dog, and she came out and she goes, "Whoa, yo!" And my dog went, tried to bite her, and she was trying to hug me. And I was like, whoa, Piggy, what the? I'd never seen my dog like that. My dog was like, get the fuck away, evil bitch. And my dog snapped at her, and she didn't. She goes, I don't care about dogs. I go, my dog's going to, I had to pick my dog up, and she was trying to hug me. She kept trying to hug me. So I'm Heisman. I got my 45-pound jaws. It's just basically, she was all head.
Yeah,
so I had my dog. I'm holding, and I'm keeping her at bay like that as she keeps trying to hug me. Fucking dog was trying to kill her, and that would happen pretty much every Friday. She'd come out just high.
Dude, I watch those people who are addicts. Like there can't be anything worse because they're just a slave to the drug. Like anything they get, kids, if they have kids, doesn't matter. Family doesn't matter. It's like whatever they can do to get that fix. Well, I know I talk about this a lot on here, but that 600-pound life. There's a new one. The second series is this week. Check this out. Homeboy is 900 pounds, but he's mean as fuck. He's just mean. He's mean to his dad. He's mean to his brother.
Can he move?
He can kind of move, but both his feet, the fat is so much it hangs over. It looks like he has Uggs on, like Yeezy 750s, but in flesh color, but with like barnacles. But barnacles all over him. Oh. Like there's barnacles.
It's got barnacles.
Like there's
a whale. Like shit grows on him.
Yeah, like a bottom of a boat. Like that's what his legs and feet look like, and
incredible.
There's like pus coming out, and he'll walk. But they have to get him to Houston to get the surgery. So
to staple his stomach or something? Or?
Yeah, to do the surgery.
Right.
To cut his stomach in half, basically. Or a quarter now that they do it. But he's so mean. He's the first guy I'm like, fuck this dude, man. Like he's mean to his dad, he's mean to his brother. He eats 4 pizzas a day. He's addicted to pizza. He eats 4 pizzas a day. But on top of other things. But he forces his dad to order them for him. So his poor dad, he's like a working dude, 9 to 5. You think about 4 pizzas a day.
Well, that's a form of madness, I guess, isn't it?
But if his dad doesn't do it, he calls the cops and says his dad was hitting him. Do it. So his dad doesn't. Is like, obviously they're not going to press charges. I just don't want to fucking deal with it. So I order his fat ass these pizzas.
Wow.
So, but you can see like the kid's weird, and then on top of that, because of his legs have barnacles on him, he's so fat, he's in pain. So they give him painkillers. But at the first they don't mention it, but then he gets to the hospital in Houston, which they have to take basically an RV, he rode in the back of like a fucking semi truck.
Jesus.
And he's even mean to the workers, and he gets to the hospital. He's been kicked out of 3 hospitals because he's so brutal to work with. He's just a dick.
He's just not.
He's just a bad dude.
Yeah.
But this is what he starts doing. So that guy goes, hey, I know you have a history of being like an asshole. We won't put up with it here. Like, this is your last shot. He's an asshole to the nurse, all this stuff. But what he's doing is he gets kicked out of the hospital so he can go to the emergency room and be like, I'm in such pain. So they give him prescription for painkillers. So they found out the reason why he's doing all this. He's
to get his drug.
And he also cons everyone. He's just a bad dude. Wow. But he's a drug addict. So he does it just to get out, get his prescription, get out, get a prescription.
God damn.
He's just a bad and doesn't give a fuck about anyone. So part 2 is this week. It's the first time I kind of hope he dies.
You know what? You're just being honest, and I appreciate you being honest.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if we need him.
As you were saying that.
He's 900 pounds. I don't know if we need him anymore. Watch it and be like, you'll be like, oh my God, fuck that.
I like that you're saying what I was thinking, because I swear to God, before you said that, I wasn't going to say it out loud because I don't have the guts. I was thinking to myself, he's probably die. I mean, he's kind of taking up space.
Hey, they show him at 900 pounds.
And that's how we all feel.
Imagine that they showed these poor nurses. He's in the hospital. He can't bathe himself. Like, they can't get in a fucking shower. So he's leaning over this thing. Nope. He never has pants on, by the way. He's never. There's always blood. I'm like, put some goddamn pants on. Lord. But he's like leaning over, standing with his fucking, these fucking guru fucking feet and just ass hanging out. And these nurses have masks on, and they're all sponges. And he's like, ejector! gentle. God
What's
damn
he saying?
it.
What's he saying?
He goes, gentle.
Gentle.
God damn it.
Gentle.
And the nurse is like staring at the camera like, really? This has to be on fucking camera? The lowest point of my life? God bless their souls,
God
man.
bless nurses. God bless nurses. And
Also,
is his dad normal size?
His dad's normal, but his brother's out of shape too. His brother's like, I don't need this shit.
It's weird
They were
that
gonna do
your
2 for
kids,
1.
that you can have a child like that who's obviously mentally unstable and obviously something went wrong, with the machine.
I think he has a bit of
with the machinery.
Asperger's too.
Yeah, I mean, something went wrong with the machinery that causes him to eat like that. And
They always give a sob story like, oh, well, my mom, when we got divorced, my mom left, started a new family.
Has nothing to do with it.
My parents got divorced too.
Yeah,
I didn't
it has
blow up
nothing
the
to do with it.
900 goddamn
This
pounds.
is a kid whose wiring is off.
Then he can't get the drugs. I don't mean to laugh. This guy could kill small children with his looks. Like nothing's going right for him.
Yeah.
Even if he was 200 pounds, like he's not a dime piece. Like things are struggling.
Yeah.
So he has this long hair, and he doesn't get his pills. And then the doctor was like, he's been missing for weeks. Like I was like, oh, he committed suicide. It's like, all right, finally this show ends like dramatically, because usually it always works out. They don't see him for like a few weeks, and then the doctor, they make a stop. Like, what the fuck you been doing? They see him, and he's going so crazy because he didn't have his drugs. He started to pick out his hair. Oh. And so now, like, the front is like an old man, and then the back is long.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, dog.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he goes from this help of trying, because if you're 900 pounds or 800 pounds, they can't do the surgery. You have to get down to below 600. So he loses 150 pounds because they're forcing him on this diet. He's just mean about it. And they're like, we're going to put you on your own. Just see if you can carry the diet. As soon as he gets home, he orders a pizza. It's like, God damn it. And that makes me want a pizza.
No, but I think
How weird is that?
Some people are born and they become wretches, right? Like a wretch. Like you see people on the street who are just, they're filthy and they're crazy. And it's such a tragedy. And the hardest thing is that people, I told you I had a girlfriend who was a drug addict, and I went to get, like, I didn't know how to deal. So I went to this Al-Anon meeting where it's like AA for people who are in love with, And I just I've never gone to a meeting, but I didn't know what to do. And I was in love with this girl. And there was a woman there, I probably told the story, but she started to cry because her daughter's just crazy. And
there's nothing you can do,
there's
right?
nothing she could do, so her daughter would just disappear, and they'd find her in some dumpster. She was hiding, and there's nothing. There's no drugs. There's nothing they could do. It's so heartbreaking. Or my friend's brother, who he died, and I said, I'm so sorry. And she goes, you know what, man? He'd been on the street, and heroin was his thing, and he never stopped using. And I said bye to him a long time ago.
But if you see like those parents on intervention, even this guy, the dad's like, it's his children, so they'll do anything.
Yeah.
But if they were to die, it's such a relief for the family. Like there's one dad on intervention where he goes, I wish you would just die. Your life's going to be easier. My life would be so much fucking easier. Like we put up with this for 10 years.
I believe
if you just pass away, it's going to help everyone. She goes, I wish I could kill myself.
Damn.
It's intense shit. But this guy, he's making videos, like talking shit to people. Like whenever I think of haters on the internet, this is the guy I think of. You see him sitting there fucking hides the dick, just those Yeezy 750 flesh colors, barnacles, this fucking weird hair, pizza boxes everywhere, and he's just online talking shit. Then he's making videos. Because he doesn't have a job, so the government pays. He gets he's on disability. And so he'll be like, it's tax season. Thanks, you fucks. I did nothing. You guys paid. Thanks for these. And he's like taking pills.
Christ.
He's like a villain. He's like a bad villain off fucking Batman.
An awful guy.
Yeah, he goes, thanks for these.
God.
And he goes, I didn't do shit to get these. You guys paid for all this shit.
Hey, you're winning. Hey, dude, you won.
Yeah, I guess you
got one on us.
You got it, bro.
Oh, man.
Why are you sweating? Yeah.
I'll let you win that.
Isn't it interesting, though? But part 2's this week. I think it's fucking Thursday night when we're leaving. I'm pissed. When we leave for Philly.
It kind of makes me want to watch the show now. We going to Philly on Thursday?
We're on a red eye Thursday night.
Thursday is it Thursday or Friday?
Thursday. Because the show's on Friday. We wouldn't got in on time if we left on Friday.
That's true.
East Coast, baby.
It's all right. I'm going to go to Philly. Philly will be fun. We get in at 12 at night.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
It's fine.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that than
sleep in, wake up.
Get a couple of Philly cheesesteaks.
Trocadero. Then we got the 930 Club in Washington, D.C.
On Saturday night.
My old stomping grounds.
Same night as UFC 211?
210.
Who'd be fighting on that?
Rumble Johnson, D.C.
Oh, boy.
Weidman, Musasi.
Oh, boy.
I know, it's a great card.
That's a great
We'll be doing
card.
a live show during then. It's a bad idea.
Yeah. Because a lot of our fans are MMA fans. Well.
Stuff that makes you go,
Stuff that
Still
makes
have
you go,
great sales, great ticket sales,
Yeah.
but
930 Club is a famous club. We're going to have some
I
fun.
know. I'm excited. I like the East
yeah.
Coast.
Yeah.
Food.
D.C. was where I went to college. I'm looking forward to
Did you like it there?
I did like D.C.
We had a dude offers who works at the White House a special like tour of the White House, but it's on Sunday. We leave on Sunday.
Yeah, I can't do it on Sunday. I've got to get home.
I just can't.
And I've never been to the White House. I hear the
I
Oval
think it'd be
Office
cool
is
to
way
go.
smaller than people think.
I think it'd be cool. The White House is smaller than I thought.
Yeah, I would go.
The Statue of Liberty is smaller than I thought. I think because in your mind as a kid, they make it like this big deal.
I would go.
I would go. If it was on Saturday,
Right.
I would go. During
Yeah.
the day, that'd be great.
See Donald.
I doubt we get to see him.
Donald!
Let me jump on that fucking Air Force One. Just check it out.
Yeah. Get on it. Run the country.
Be kind of cool.
It would be. Do you? I know you're going to break down the fights, and we can do it on Wednesday.
Bam.
Well, we got the fights. A little fight talk here, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
UFC 210. I'm not mad at the card at all.
I'd like to ask who Cavillo is or who Gonzalez is. Can you bring those two ladies up, please?
Ooh, it's a
They look
lady.
adorable. I want to see Pearl Gonzalez.
Calvallo, we saw fight before.
So she's not.
Pearl,
She's
I'm sure
brand
if you
new to the
Google
UFC,
it,
so-
it'll bring up something.
Let's see what we got here. Ooh,
There you
Pearl.
go. First thing that came up was Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, let's see
Probably
some
just
pics.
hit images, huh, Chin?
You want us to look at her?
I'd go to images, yeah. I don't give a
Alright.
fuck about her record.
Maybe me neither.
There you go.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm not mad.
No, me neither.
Bring her up with the curly
115?
hair right over there. Cutie pie. Yep. She's not taking any prisoners. Keep going with it though, because there's another.
You know,
picture.
they're obviously trying to build this 115 weight class if they're
the
putting them
next picture,
third
the
on a
worst.
card like this.
Yeah, she's sexy to me. So there, I said it. I like her very much, and I'm rooting.
The other
for her.
girl was
I'm
the...
shallow because I'm rooting for her. Look at her. I love her hair like that.
But it's deep, brother.
I am.
People
I'm
are
deep.
probably,
Really?
that's probably
I'm
helping.
also a
everyone.
creep. So
The other girl was from Team Alpha Male, right? Like she.
And she was the girl that fought the blonde chick who I liked, who's the boxer. Remember, she beat her. She submitted
She
her.
did beat her. What was her name? Jesus.
I forget. Either
I'll
way,
look it up
out of
right
all
now.
the fights, I don't know what we're talking about this one.
I
This one
apologize.
has nothing
I
to
apologize.
do with this.
I
Just the way they look.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyways.
I'm being very shallow. Let's get back to the fight talk, guys. Seriously, come on.
Amanda Cooper.
Yes. Who I'm a fan of. I think she has
Yeah,
a
she's
huge
cute.
future. All right, let's
go back to that.
Let's get off
Sorry, buddy.
this, please.
Sorry. Anybody that we on the undercard that we can talk about here? Let's go back.
You
to
want to
this.
do the main card?
We'll do the main card. I just want to see Jury. Jury's always good.
Miles Jury. It's a fun one.
Smart kid, out of San Diego, I believe.
My boy Pat Cummins is fighting.
Oh, good. That's what I was looking for. I don't know. Some looks like
Let's
a
go to the
Polish
main
guy.
card, B. People you know, brother.
We're gonna go to the main card. I'm just looking. I want to see if anybody I know. All right, back up here. Cote Alves, Thiago Alves, Patrick Cote. Ooh,
Well, no, you're missing. You can't overlap fucking Brooks and Charles Oliveira. That's a great
Oliveira?
fight. Yeah, that's a great fight. Brooks has been a beast coming from Bellator. He had that last loss against that Cowboy guy because he hurt his rib. Other than that, he's a tough customer. And I don't know what the odds are. Obviously, I'll get balls deep into a big round breakdown, but I would imagine Will's the favorite there. If not, I'll take Will Brooks in that fight.
I'm gonna go with Charles Oliveira. I like the way he fights. I think he's a fucking killer. They all are, of course, but he's just.
It seems like he always. Not that I know for a fact, but if he's losing, he seems to find a way.
Well,
to
that's
give
right,
up.
and that's a huge thing. Like there are a lot of fighters that those are the fighters I always the most impressed with. Those guys that can be down no matter what, like Frank Yeager and stuff, and they come back.
No, I mean he seems
know.
like he finds a way out.
Yeah,
You
there are
know
some
what I'm saying?
fighters
Like
that
he finds a way to tap.
Yeah, you guys
or-
talking about two different
Yeah,
things. So
two
he's
different
saying
things.
he quits. You're saying he's like Frank Yeager. Chin, I would agree
You're
with
saying
Chin
Charles
on this.
Oliveira?
Yeah.
Yes, when the going gets rough, he usually finds a way out. All Anthony Pettis, there's.
Oh, okay.
If you remember his fight with Anthony Pettis.
Oh, I like the fight. The fighters that I'm the most
the one
impressed
where
with
he
are the guys that can.
Did a hook and then he fell down later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, that was someone else.
Go to his record for us, Chin. Because, if in that Anthony Pettis fight, as soon as he got going rough, he lost. And they lost his last fight. I think Brooks beats him. Not an exciting fashion, but I think Brooks gets it done.
Sweet. I think that fight was Max Holloway.
Anytime he fights like an upper echelon guy, he usually loses.
How old is Oliveira? 27? All right.
27, yes.
Let's go to, and then we got Patrick Cote, Thiago Alves.
Battle of the vets, the old dudes.
Yep.
Thiago, he just needs to stop, man. I think he gets knocked out by Cote.
He's just been, Cote's bigger and I think taller, but Thiago's been injured so much. I think that's what it is.
It's just over. It's not even injury. It's just over.
I was under the impression he was going to fight at 55. Is this at 70? It's got to be.
Yeah,
There's no way
70.
Patrick Cote is fighting at 55. Huh. Yeah, he had such a tough time with that fucking 55-pound, thing. So, it is Battle of the Vets. I don't want to get into whether somebody should stop or not, but.
Well, who do you got?
Well, if I'm being honest, because Thiago, I love that guy, but I don't know. I mean, I think why I would choose probably Patrick Cote. He's so much bigger. Patrick Cote, I remember, fought at 205. He's just a lot
flabby
bigger.
205.
Yeah, I think he's framed. He's taller.
So you're just picking off size
I am.
because he's bigger than Donald.
I think my feeling is that Thiago's more skilled as a striker. I think Thiago's Muay Thai is unbelievable.
5 years ago, yes. Not now. Cote's a better striker now.
Really?
Hits harder, better boxer, yeah.
He hits like yeah. The only thing I have to go with on Cote lately is that fight he had with Cowboy, and he did a great job, but Cowboy was just too much for him. But I remember you saying whenever Cowboy would engage with Patrick Cote, you'd be like, don't get into a slugfest, don't get close like that, stay outside.
No, man.
And I feel like with Thiago, because he's not as long, he's going to have to get close, right? He's going to have to get close in that distance, and that because Patrick is bigger, the odds are that Patrick's going to, if he connects, it's going to be a liability for Thiago. That's where I would go with that. That's what I'm trying to say.
So you got Patrick. Long story short,
as much as I love Thiago and he's my boy, I would have to say that Patrick feels like, yes.
Take size out of it. Just do skill, Patrick.
Skill, I feel like Thiago's better.
5 years ago, yes.
I can't answer to that.
Look at Patrick's record just as of recent.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Cowboy, which was a good fight too. Beat Ben Saunders, Josh Berkman, Joe Riggs. Decision to Wonder Boy Thompson. Beat Kyle Noak.
That's a fucking serious record. Yeah, I mean, listen, Patrick Cote is a veteran and really fucking good.
And very skilled too.
Very skilled.
Yeah.
Very skilled.
You keep saying,
Yeah, I mean, I guess for
you're going
me,
based off of you're thinking of old Thiago Alves, which was great, but the game's evolved so much more.
Pre-injury and all that.
No. But even then, till now, he hasn't fought recently, right? Like his last fight, he got murked. Before that, in 3 years, 4 years? The game evolved so fast. Patrick's current and has the skill set.
I remember Thiago Alves looking so much bigger back in the day too, like just super buff, like huge buff.
He's sucked down,
sir.
And he's at a bigger weight.
Those were also the Wild West days.
Yeah. Also, after he fought Carlos Condit, he had made the decision to go to 55 because he just felt like the guys were taller, had more reach, they were just bigger, and it was hard for him. Maybe because of the way the game evolved. And so that's why I'm surprised he's fighting at 70 and not 55. But, he's a thick kid, man. And 55 is a tough thing for him, obviously.
Especially no IV, stuff like that.
Yeah, all that shit. Really, really hard.
But he had a great
he's out of American Top Team. He's got amazing sparring
He had a great
partners.
run, man.
Great run. 100%. But again, he's got such a look at that, beat Matt Hughes, Josh Koscheck. I mean, some Fucking beasts.
Getting in 2008, bro.
Yeah.
Jeez, 2008.
Yeah, that's when he was in his prime.
His business. The game.
What else you got, Jen? I got Cote, I'll say first, second round KO. This is the best fight on the card.
Weidman Mousasi.
Yeah. Yeah.
B?
Well, I think Chris Weidman has had a rough go of it, partially because of injury. I think he had a bad neck and he had some other stuff going on, from what I hear. So I don't know what he's feeling like physically. I don't know what he's feeling like mentally. Obviously, he's fighting. What I love about Mousasi is he couldn't. It's like, hey, he just woke up from a nap. He couldn't be less enthusiastic when he stands there with the worst posture of all time. And he just sits there and he goes, "This is what I do. I've been doing this since I was 15."
No sense of urgency.
Absolutely no sense of urgency. It seems like zero nerves. Like I was just playing cards. I got up and so I was like, "You want to fight?" He's like, "What? What? This guy? All right, I guess." So, Mousasi can beat anybody in the world in any given day. Anybody in the world in any given day.
Jeez.
I mean, then that's a fact. Look at his record. He's been fighting since he was 10 years old. Or he came out of the womb.
I think he has
kicking
50
and
fights
punching.
total if you include his kickboxing.
That's a fuckload. Yeah, so it's a very, in any way you cut it, it's a very tough fight for Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman's an absolute beast. If he does beat Mousasi, I don't see it as I see it as a grind. I see it as him using his wrestling and him getting Mousasi to a point where he's grounding and pounding him. That's doing damage from being on top of Mousasi. That's the only way. Don't you agree?
I mean, Mousasi hasn't beat the upper echelon guys. Anytime he faces an upper echelon guy, he usually loses. You know, like, so he fought Jacare, he lost. He fought an older Dan Henderson, but he won, but that's not Dan Henderson in his prime. He lost to Lyoto Machida, so he hasn't had like that key win in his UFC career. I like Weidman this fight. I know Weidman's coming off 2 losses. Granted, it's a Yoel Romero, which he looked great in that fight until he got fucking kneed to the face by that crazy Cuban mutant. And then, and then the Rockhold fight was a great fight till he threw that bullshit spinning back kick. And if you look at the shape of Weidman, I've never seen him in better shape.
He does look good now, yeah.
He brought in Stipe for this camp. He's brought in all these killers just to get ready. I think he's an underdog too. I like this. Is such a fork in the road for Weidman. I like Weidman's chances. I think it's fight of the night too.
Yeah, and do you think that Weidman gets it done by
decision,
taking him down, getting on top of him, beating him,
winning rounds,
grinding
decision.
him out? Yeah,
I don't think anyone gets finished.
I think Weidman takes Mousasi down before Mousasi takes Weidman down, and I don't think
Mousasi would try and take him down.
Right. I think Weidman is really good at keeping you on your back. So that's the way I see it is that would be the way it would go. So you know what? I'll go with Weidman.
Boom. Both got Weidman.
And the main event.
I go back and forth.
Well,
I
believe that you're going to see the same thing happen. I believe if Daniel Cormier can weather those insane punches, Daniel Cormier, once he grabs you, he gets you to the ground and he breaks your will. And, he just wears you like a sweater and he's going to use his wrestling and he's going to grind it out. Obviously there's always that X factor. If you try to stand with Anthony Rumble Johnson and he connects once, you're done. He did connect with Daniel. Daniel fell to the ground, I think did a somersault.
Popped up.
Got back up. I mean, Cormier he's just a different kind of human being. I never bet against him. I will never bet against Daniel Cormier unless he's fighting John Jones. But,
And I think if he fought John Jones right now, he beats him. I think it's a bad idea if the UFC brings John back right now and has him fight DC right away if DC wins this fight.
I agree, Bryan.
John looked terrible. He got the fight done. He got the win over OSP. But, I don't think you can take that much time off. And him finding Jesus and wearing Dockers and stuff now and not hanging out with strippers and doing blow and then go into the UFC and try and be the same guy against DC. I think it's a bad idea. I think he needs to fight a Jimmy Manoa first, something like that.
Yeah, he's had so much time off.
It's
Jesus
a bad
Christ.
I go back and forth. This morning, I was talking with my buddy Todd, and I was like, you know what? I got Johnson. And then I did some more stuff, did my research for the Big Round Breakdown, stuff like that. I'm like, how the fuck are you going to pick against DC? He's only lost to John, prime John.
Isn't that crazy?
He beat heavyweights.
He's lost one match
Here's
in his
the X
entire
factor,
career.
though. Here's the huge X factor. DC's in entertainment. He has 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yep. I was going to say the X factor for me is DC's age. He's been fighting a long time.
I'm not too worried about that. I'm worried about him. The commitment he has to the UFC, doing analyst work on pay-per-views, UFC fight nights, and then doing UFC Tonight, doing all that. It's a lot of work, man. While he's doing that, you got guys like Anthony Johnson. They're not doing that. That's the X factor.
That's a very legit thing. The only thing that I think cuts through that is just this guy's been competing on such a high level forever that maybe
both have been competing on a high level. That doesn't work. You can't just say, well, he always turns it on, because you're at a level in professional sports via Dominic Cruz, Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah.
Where Cody Garbrandt's not doing UFC Tonight. He's not doing these gigs. He's getting in the gym, being better. Mm-hmm. They're both everyone's at a high level. Yeah. Everyone's world class. Yeah. That 1% of maybe you put more time in the gym, it makes a huge difference.
Make a huge difference.
Everyone's world
You've
class.
always said it. You've always called that. You've always, whenever you're worried about an athlete who is doing other things, I don't think you've been wrong. When you've been worried, a lot of times it pays off. Here's what I will say. I would rather, and maybe way rather, see a fight between Anthony Rumble Johnson and John Jones. That, to me, is the fight to watch.
It's just because we haven't seen it.
No, it's also because Rumble Johnson. If John Jones decides to bang with Anthony Rumble Johnson, I think the consequences are so dire.
John's never done that.
He's going to have to wrestle him too, and I don't know who's a better wrestler. Yeah, I said it.
No, you know who's better.
John Jones is a better wrestler than Anthony Johnson. In terms of MMA and trying getting him on the ground and all that.
Close.
Wasn't Anthony Rumble Johnson a JUCO champion as well?
He's JUCO, but we're talking MMA current.
Yeah. Yeah. Current. What?
It's almost a stupid argument. Go to takedowns in the UFC for Anthony Rumble Johnson versus John Jones.
John Jones did take Daniel Cormier down, which I never thought I'd see.
Rumbles doesn't wrestle. He just uses counter wrestling.
Well, he started as a wrestler. I mean,
No. His background is wrestling.
Right.
He's always been a knockout artist.
He's always been a knockout artist, but I believe the first thing, junior national champion.
You're right.
Right? Yeah.
No, yeah, he is. So is John Jones.
Right. I mean, but
remember Chuck Liddell wrestled. Chuck Liddell wrestled. Glover Teixeira is an amazing grappler. Mm-hmm. Leon Machida a black belt. Shogun's that does nothing. So
you're just saying
what you got to do is
their
fighting style inside the octagon.
So
because Josh Koscheck is a better wrestler than GSP.
Yes.
Inside the octagon, it's a different thing.
Correct.
I don't care what you did in college.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
So do you think then that John Jones doesn't stand and try to bang with Anthony Johnson?
He takes him down so easy, it's not even funny.
Really?
Not even funny.
Really?
Ryan Bader was light years better than
John Jones.
Than Anthony Johnson in college. Wrestled at Arizona State, Division I, All-American.
Yeah. A beast.
Took him down, cemented him in like that. Your college accolades do not matter in professional sports.
Right.
They do not matter.
And so Anthony Johnson doesn't stop John Jones' takedown.
No.
And force him to stand him back.
No, not a chance.
Wow.
The problem with Anthony Johnson is he has quit in him. And at this level, when guys know that, a guy who, to me, is probably the smartest fighter ever graced the octagon in D.C., Daniel Cormier, when they know you have that quit in them and they can avoid that big shot, it's just a matter of time before they find that quit.
And that's what happened last time.
That's what happened in Vitor Belfort. That's what happened. There's a lot of fights where that happens.
Yep.
And if that never leaves you. Mm-hmm. That's a personality trait that you just don't get rid of. You can never get rid of. It's just there's nothing you can do for it. Now DC's not going to win any fans by
God, what a record he has.
With Anderson Silva. He goes, that's the easiest fight in my career.
Yeah, he did say that.
Bad idea, man. And that's one of the. It's weird how DC's not a bigger star, isn't it?
I think it's the craziest thing.
Because you look what he did to Dan Henderson and obviously the John Jones. It's because
one fucking loss.
I know, but it's because you look at it and we know he's not the baddest man on the planet. We know that. We saw him lose.
But I mean, to boo him,
so by default,
fucking drives me crazy.
Give
the man his respect. Give him his fucking respect that he's earned. Give him his respect. If you booed DC, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I agree.
That's bullshit.
But he's not doing himself any favors. He goes, Anderson Silva, he's just fighting my life. It's like, oh my God, you played it so safe, man. You lost so many fans. UFC 200 needs you so bad to perform, and you played it so safe. And it was one of the worst fights on the card. That's why he gets booed.
Which one would you guys rather see, though? The rematch with John Jones or the?
I don't want to see John fight either of them right away. I think both of them are very tough fights for him right away.
You want to see the best John Jones before he steps in.
I want to see John Jones fight like a Jimmy Manawa or someone like that. Get a tune-up fight, which is still a tough fight, but not to this level, and then go here.
So you wouldn't give him 2 tune-up fights if you could?
No, not 2. That's too much. We give him 1.
Just 1.
Give him 1.
So say he won against Manoa. Would you rather see John against DC? Or?
See, I think John DC is an easy fight for John. I'm not that fascinated by it because he has quit in him. And John's so long, it's going to be so tough for him.
You mean Johnson?
No, Anthony. John Jones is so long. It's going to be tough for Anthony Johnson.
Quit in him. You said
yes.
Quit in him.
Yeah, John has 0 quit in him.
Yeah.
Can take a fight on 2 weeks' notice and just get through it.
Yeah, I mean, look
at Gustafsson.
Yeah, I was going to say.
One of the greatest fights in history, barely trained.
Amazing.
It's so sick.
It's crazy.
By the way, speaking of Gustafsson, he's got a fight coming up, doesn't he?
Glover Texture.
That's right.
Oh. Not for a little while. Though.
Let's not forget about that motherfucker. I love him. There's another one.
No one's forgetting about him. Yeah, he's one of the best, man. He just needs to figure his shit out.
Yeah.
He's, around here or there from being the best in the world. Split decision to DC. Split decision to John Jones. Feel bad for him.
Yeah.
But with Anthony Johnson, he's the hardest hitter in the world right now in the UFC, but what else is he going to do?
I'm kind of equally excited for any of those matchups, though. I don't know which one I'd rather see more. I'm kind of maybe slightly leaning towards Johnson against Jones because I've never seen it before.
So are you saying Johnson's an easier fight for Jones than DC?
Not even close.
Not even close.
Finishes him. He won't finish DC. He'll finish Johnson.
Wow. By getting him to the ground and pounding him and getting him to quit.
Get him to quit. Crucifixing him, submitting him. John has ridiculous jiu-jitsu, too. Remember, he submitted Vitor Belfort, Lyoto Machida.
Cradled Ryan Bader. Yeah. Chael Sonnen. I mean, did whatever he wanted, those guys.
It's hard to pick against DC. I just don't like how busy he is outside the octagon. That's going to catch up with you at this level. But again, I don't know how who knows what Anthony Johnson's doing. He's not. We know he's not doing all this media stuff, but
yeah.
And everyone's talking about how DC doesn't have Kane.
Yeah, remember Kane's been out, hasn't been in the gym at all. Said he wants to focus more time on his kids. Then when he feels 100%, then get back in camp. I don't think Rockhold's been in there a whole lot.
How quickly things change when it comes to fighting in mixed martial arts, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, DC's still the king.
Yep.
It's hard to pick against a guy like that. But the X Factor's there.
Awesome.
Probably still lean. You got DC?
On this, yes, I do. I'm never betting against DC unless he's fighting against John Jones. I'm not betting against him.
I'll bet on DC if John fights him right away, like in July or something like that. No tune-up fight. Bad idea. I think DC beats him then.
I can't imagine John coming back and having to fight anyone else.
But a title fight?
Yeah.
We've learned how'd that work out for Ronda after a year off. Let me try. Oh, God.
I know. But I mean, he's
the
been
ring
gone
rust
so
is
long.
real, man. It's real.
It's real.
It's just a bad idea to go from, how long he's had off for how long now?
I don't remember.
John, fucking a while, man.
Because you can never really simulate what a real fight is in the gym. Right?
Never. So I'm picking DC as of right now.
Will they give Jones a tune-up fight? Do you think, or will they throw him right to the
They're
Wolves?
probably gonna throw him right to the Wolves.
April 2016.
Wow.
Yeah, because remember DC backed up. He got hurt.
All right, let's do some
I got pee so bad.
current events.
Look at John's record, for God's sakes. Look at that.
It's ridiculous.
Name his easiest fight in the UFC.
It's ridiculous.
I guess Jake O'Brien.
Where did he started off with Shogun, right?
For For the belt?
For the belt.
Yes.
So that's
UFC
when
128 because I found the
crazy.
same card against Crow Cop.
That's when he started fighting champions, ex-champions.
I mean, just a who's who.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dismantle Glover. Dismantle DC. Beat
Hitting Rashad Evans with
OSP.
those elbows. Doing weird shit like bang.
I get peace so bad.
Sneaky elbows. Current events. Let's go to current events. We're going to the events that are current, not from before, but are now. That happened just now. And now we're going to talk about them in a funny way or a very significant way. Like if somebody died, I'll be like, ooh, and I'll make noises like that's so bad, but I don't really care. Because I'm self-centered as fuck.
Can we use
Current events.
Can we use that or not?
Yeah.
All right.
Current
events.
Let's go.
Well, the first one is a tragic one, actually.
Yep.
So there was an explosion today,
in St. Petersburg metro
morning.
system.
I went singing about this one, brother.
I'm
Terrorist
allowed to
attack?
sing about anything I want.
Terrorist attack?
Yeah.
It helps him
Let
feel
Chin get
better.
it out, though. Tell us what it is, Chin.
So there was a explosion at a train station, inside a train, actually. And 10 people died, 20 people injured. St. Petersburg, Russia.
Yep.
Terrorist attack.
Been there. I'm surprised it's taken this long for Islamic terrorists because remember the Soviet Union used to, there were a great deal of Islamic countries, and the Soviets, the Russians have allied themselves with the Bashar regime in Syria, and they have been instrumental in a lot of airstrikes on rebel strongholds, which also resulted in the death of many civilians. So the Russians there's this saying, the Russians are a bear. When they come into a country that they want to take over, they're not very discriminate about their bombing. It's kind of like the way a bear swipes at you. They'll just take out whole sections of an area. If you look at what the Russians did to Chechnya and Grozny, which is the capital of Chechnya, there was nothing left. It looked like the surface of the moon. The U.S. would never do that, never get away with that. Russia does what it wants.
But to this effect, though, so there was 2 bombs?
Yeah, they found another one that they disarmed.
Jesus.
Yeah. So again, this has happened to Russia in the past, and what it is it's Islamic insurgents probably bombing the metro system, etc., in retaliation for their policies in the Middle East, like what they're doing in because they've been kind of allied with us, quote unquote, in trying to take ISIS out.
They're doing it all over, though. France, all the same shit.
Yes. The thing about the Russians, though, unlike France, unlike Britain, unlike the United States, is the Russians can basically do what they want. They don't really have to follow due process. You fuck around with Putin and the Special Foreign Services, otherwise known as the ex-KGB, and all their intelligence and their police forces. Those motherfuckers they are no joke.
They're not part of NATO, correct?
They're not part of NATO, and they're pretty ruthless.
And they don't have to go through the same kind of
checks and balances and things like that.
Sir.
No, Mr. Putin
Call the
says,
shots.
"Go! I want their heads." It's like that saying, Cofer Black, who ran the black ops of the CIA after 9/11. They said, "What are our marching orders?" When they sent in that triple nickel team, and Cofer Black said, "I want Osama bin Laden's head brought to me on my desk in a bucket of dry ice." And they laughed, and he goes, "I'm not joking. That's what I want. I want his fucking head in a bucket of." They said, "Wow, those are pretty clear marching orders, sir." I mean, Putin is that way. Putin will be like, "I want him dead. Find out who the fuck they are," and then really awful. Yeah, here you go.
Enjoy fucking with Russia.
Well, when the Chechenis, I don't know if you remember this, but when the Chechenis took over that school and it was all mostly Russian kids, and they wired it for weaponry. Did you remember that? First of all, they took over a theater, and the Russians came in.
Those weren't kids, though.
No, that was it. Did you remember? I don't know if you remember this, but
I remember it.
They took over the theater, and there were Checheni terrorists. And basically, because the Chechens in that area have always been looking for their independence, they've always tried to break away from the Russian bear, and they took over this theater, and the Russians pumped in sleeping gas.
They took over the theater because they wanted Russia to release the they had like prisoners or something.
Yeah,
right?
and they were also protesting the fact that they wanted their independence.
But they had some prisoners.
Yeah, they had a top
them.
guy.
Yeah, and they're like, we're not we're not gonna let these people go until you release them. And then Putin was like, cool, sent his special forces in there.
Yeah.
Shot of fucking poisonous gas.
Yes, and
killed like how many people?
Yeah, because they were trying to put him to sleep, and the gas obviously killed a lot of people.
Poisonous, killed a bunch of the hostages.
They went in and killed all those guys. I think they cut some of their hands off.
Yep.
They were like, I'm gonna take your head off too. Anyway, that's how they deal with things. And then, the biggest thing, I never forgot this, was when when they killed all those school children. The Chechenis took hostage, the school hostage, and there were all these little kids, and they laced it with explosives. So if you went in, you would tripwire and blow up the place. The place did blow up. Some of the guys got away, the Chechenis, and I remember Putin hitting the desk. He said he was so mad that he hit the desk with a very un-Russian, unstatesmanlike in a way. You could see his visible anger. And that's when they went in essentially, and after a couple of these things, and they leveled Grozny. I mean, they put in their own guy. So the guy who's in there now is essentially, his puppet.
What else you got, Chin?
So it's going to be ugly.
Enjoy that,
ISIS. It's going to be ugly to see what happens now.
Okay, the next one is from Washington State. A homeowner found a guy that, first of all, he saw his house get broken into. He has 2 properties in the same area, though. So he went to one of the properties, found out someone broke into it, and then someone was taking a shower. Just taking a shower. Words were exchanged. He left the property, got his gun, went back in, and shot and killed the guy.
Yeah, that sounds...
You're going to jail for that.
Exactly. So he's in for second-degree murder.
Yep. You're a dummy because your life wasn't in danger. So the rule is that if he's taking your property, it's not, your life is not,
We got a bunch of emails saying you're wrong on that. Actually, a cop emailed us.
What did he say?
That's not correct. We'll have to read it, but that's not true.
So it depends.
It's not true if they don't have to have like a gun pointed at you for you to do something.
No. If somebody's in your house and you shoot them and then they're looking at you, then there's no way to prove that guy wasn't a threat to you. Like if a guy's in my house and I walk downstairs and he's there looking at me, I can shoot him. He's in my house. Now, here's the difference, and this is where the law is. If the guy has property in his hands and he's holding, say, a TV, like a flat screen TV, and you were to shoot him, you're going to have a very hard time. And the reason you're going to have a hard time in court, because remember, cops are going to arrest you, but this has to be tried. What happens is they say, you shot a guy in your life, he had a TV in his hand. How is your life in danger there?
See,
worse
people are telling us
the
that's
guys,
not true.
But I'm
Some
just telling
cop
you,
was telling us
maybe,
this.
but I'm just telling you that these are if you read about gun laws, at least in California, if you're walking out of the house, if the guy has your stuff out of the house and you shoot him in the back, you're really fucked. More importantly, if the guy's in a shower, taking a shower, again, if you go get the gun and come back and you didn't call the cops or something.
Yeah, that makes sense to arrest
Now you're
him.
in trouble because regardless
But
of what
I think
says,
the laws, if someone breaks in your house, and this is what the cop was telling me, if he breaks in your house and you see him like, doing something, you're kind of in right to stop him.
But remember that you're still going to have to, a jury potentially is still maybe going to decide your fate. And when you get brought up on the fact that when you're charged with second-degree murder...
Yeah, but if you say, my wife and kid are upstairs, he was headed to my kid's room or something like that.
Very different, exactly. So if your kids are upstairs and you shoot him in the back and he's going upstairs, yes. Now you got a case. If nobody's upstairs or it's a rental property, a guy's in there taking a shower with no weaponry...
Well, no, this
you
makes
shoot
sense.
him,
I'm saying, you were saying overall.
I am saying overall. They always say if a guy has property in his hand, let him go. Don't shoot him. If his hands are full of your stuff, you're going to be. If anything, it's going to cost you a fortune to defend yourself in court. And they've done a lot of studies on this
because his hands are.
Yes, it's going to because the family's going to sue you. He's going to sue you if he doesn't get killed. It's better off. You're better off letting the guy go. If the guy's in your house at night, you wake up and he's downstairs. I'm fucking shooting him because I'm afraid. I don't know if he has a weapon. That's why you get away with it. Okay. That's why they even say if you shoot a guy like outside your home, you're better off dragging him inside.
Yep. But they can prove that you did that. But yeah.
Yeah, but that can also be contested. Like you shot him.
He charged me.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. It's all those stories. It's that terrible story. Like the guy, I bought a gun, and he said, You know, another example is if a guy's beating your dog to death in front of you and you shoot him, you're going to go to jail. Why? Because your dog is property. He wasn't coming at you. Now, obviously, I'd say, well, he came at me with a bat after that, but
the dog one makes sense. That one's not too. The dog one makes sense.
Yeah.
But if he's in your house killing
you
your dog,
always have to prove that your life was in danger. That's the intent to harm, intent to kill. That's what we're.
I feel like that's pretty easy. If I'm sleeping, I hear a burglar downstairs, I go and shoot him. Well, am I supposed to assume he's a good guy and he's just looking for?
No, but just remember, if his hands are full of merchandise and not a gun, and you shoot him, you're gonna have a hard time. You could go to jail.
That gets super tricky. Because
if your dog's a bite-trained dog, and your dog's loose, and somebody breaks into your house to steal your property, and the guy gets mauled or killed by your dog, you're gonna get sued. You got big problems.
Big problems.
Let's say he's grabbing a TV, walking up the stairs towards your room in the darkness, and you're freaked out and you shoot him. That gets tricky, right?
If he's walking upstairs and
Towards
your wife
room
and
or your
children
kids'
up there,
room?
I'm shooting that guy, and I think you have regardless, you have a way better case because you can say, when a grown man's walking up to where my children and wife are, I'm shooting that fucker. Everybody in America is going to go, yeah. A jury's going to be like, we get it. It's very hard to prove otherwise. You know, that's the thing. And I also think, a guy like this is a guy who looks.
This guy,
he sounded like he wanted to kill somebody.
Yeah, he saw a guy in the shower, has words with him, leaves, thinks about it, comes back and
with
shoots
a gun.
him.
By the way,
Especially guys just showering.
who's taking a shower giving me words? Hey, man, I'm taking a shower. I know it's your house. That's a cocky guy.
He's probably like, what the fuck you doing? He's like, I have to fucking shower. I'm going to leave in a second.
He might have been a homeless guy and a little crazy, and you shoot him. It's
Most
like,
likely.
it's kind of fucked up. I think a lot of people just want an excuse to shoot somebody. I do. I think a lot of people who own guns are looking for that one time. He's in my house. I get to kill him. Well, no, you don't.
If it's a rental, I mean, probably just call him the cops. But also, you call the cops, he's going to be gone by then. That does nothing.
There's more to the story that cannot be released yet. That's what Mason County
there
Sheriff
you
said.
go.
But even the cops went on record saying that, he had time to call us. He had time to call us.
Yeah.
He didn't do it. He didn't take the proper steps.
No.
He should not have went back and shot him.
Yeah, that's a good lesson to anybody. You're going to get arrested.
I bet
You're
the
gonna
guy
go to
taking a
jail.
shower just to offend him. He's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, what the fuck does it look like? I'm showering in your
I'm
house.
dirty.
He goes, get the hell out. He goes, I'll get out when I'm done. Suck my dick.
Right.
And then he's like, oh, hell no.
Like you and I
Most
would never
guys
do
just
that.
beat him up.
Right.
I would never shoot him.
Or we just step
But if he's
outside and go,
naked-
hi, yeah, there's a guy taking a shower in my house. Just can't be there.
I wouldn't want to get near him if he's naked taking a shower.
I would. I mean, I wouldn't either.
Also, but I don't know. If he just got in there and breaking it, like, all right, take a shower, get the fuck out.
Right.
Like,
I know.
shoot him.
Come on, dude.
Take a shower, get the fuck
I'm not
out.
going to kill you. You're having a bad day.
I mean, if you have to break in someone's house, take a shower, things aren't going well.
Now, somebody's jacking off in your fridge or something.
Even then, I'm not going to kill him.
Well, his dick is coming at me. If I see a grown man with a heart on in my house,
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume he's there for more than just food.
What else you got, Jen?
All right. This one is a little. I don't know much about golf, but this girl Lexi Thompson, she was on her way to winning the LPGA tour, and then she moved the ball. You know when you put that little coin thingy down and then you
Put like
move
a
the
quarter,
ball,
sure.
the little
Yeah.
placement with thing,
Sure.
whatever. She moved it maybe less than an inch too far towards the hole, and someone on TV saw this, reported it. It got back to the LPGA officials, and they actually gave her like a 4-stroke penalty, and she lost the tournament because of it.
Can we see her do it?
I don't know if they have it on here, but let's check.
I saw it. It's not. God damn. I mean, it's obviously a game of inches. Oh no, this is just them telling her.
Oh.
You
Oh,
see
that's
her
just them
do it,
telling.
and it's literally that's just her reacting. It's literally like, it's like this. B. She goes, that's the ball. She
Yeah.
goes, let me put this down here.
Come on, hey, you fucking whoever's watching that,
Some snitch
you
on
shitty
TV.
snitch. You're a shitty snitch.
And now a Korean one.
Hey,
I have reason to believe it's Jen.
You goddamn it!
probably
I
me.
bet it was. You fucking snitch. Don't be such a bitch.
Poor girl. Even Tiger Woods tweeted
I'm
about
pissed.
it. Even Tiger was like, "Are you kidding me?
Oh,
This is
fuck off.
bullshit."
A 4-stroke penalty, you assholes. I'm mad. I don't even watch golf, and I'm fucking pissed about that.
And that was like on the 12th hole. By the
gonna
time
win.
the 18th hole came, or the 18th, whatever the round, whatever it's called. Do you guys know what it's called?
Yeah.
There's like the 12th.
Back nine.
So I guess so the 12th hole. Yeah. So the 12th hole. By the time they reached the 18th hole, all that information got to the officials. Boom, boom, done. Had to tell her, you're gonna lose.
Bullshit.
Day over.
Boo. Fucking boo.
Do you play? Or you don't play golf, Chin? Or you do?
I've never played.
You've
golf.
never played
It
it
annoys
once?
me, golf.
No.
You don't play either, Agent A? You
I
never
play, but it brings
Well, you don't
back
play.
brings back
Hey,
memories of feeling
hey,
like
you
a
don't-
failure.
you don't play.
No, I'm terrible.
I mean, you've tried
I
it.
always tell you another lie. Oh, by the way, the other thing I did this weekend, but I'm going to get to the golf is again. I dropped twice. I did my genome. I'm almost 100% fast twitch muscle, which is not true. You're not 100%.
No, yeah, no.
And everybody kind of and it hangs in dead air, and I just keep not learning. And I go, so I'm a better athlete than I thought, and I walk away at 50. That's sad.
Do you want
And
someone to go, wow, that's so cool. Man.
I
You should
have
been a
no idea what I
professional
want.
athlete."
I have
It's
no
weird.
idea what I want from them.
It's embarrassing.
I'm embarrassing myself, and I keep doing it when I know better. It just happens. It just goes, Bryan, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. A fast switch muscle. It's and everybody who came up to me after we're taking shows, they go, dude, fast switch, grab me. I'm like, yeah, I'm a loser. Anyway, golf was the kind of thing that made me feel like a failure. Because my dad, I would play with him, and he'd be like, "No, you hitched. You know." I was like, "Fuck you."
What's so
fuck off."
it depends who you're playing with too. It's a fun game, but it's 4 hours of driving there,
But
get
also,
carts, everything.
You got to earn like a handicap. My buddy Jerry McFadden plays a lot, and he goes, he's a very good golfer, and he said, "What'd you shoot?" And I go, "About a 90." And he goes, "That's cool. I'm good. I'm gonna ask you again."
No, yeah.
I'm gonna ask you again. I go,
But you have
"About
to play
100."
golf so much. It's like surf. You got to do it all the time
Yes,
to
yes,
get good at it. It's
yes.
not something you just try.
Yes.
I'm down to do it. If you're not good, you're going to be walking all over in
You pretty
4
good?
hours.
You're probably pretty good, right?
It's all right. It's something you have to do a lot. I'm good for not doing it a lot.
Yeah.
But I'd be down to go, like, I don't know, once
should go. Why don't we go?
a year. Might as well.
Malibu Country Club is a great place to do it. It's a good day.
You have to do it at a good place, and
Yeah, we
you
should
have
do
some
that.
drinks. Mm-hmm. Like, no one takes it too serious.
It's good to hang.
I hate going with people who take it serious.
No,
That's the worst.
I cheat too. I don't know if you know that.
I will also cheat.
No, I'm a cheater. I'm
I'll
a
cheat.
cheater. I'll kick the ball out. Yeah.
And I also like to play best ball. So if you're playing with 4 people,
Yep.
whoever's a good driver, like we're for sure playing that.
I'll take about.
It makes things way
I
faster.
take about 50 mulligans.
I use an entire thing of balls.
That's
Just Then I'm that guy. You got any balls? And they're like, God damn it. I'm that guy.
Yeah, I go through a lot of balls.
You know who takes golf too serious? You got a little too much time on your hands.
Is it super expensive? It has to be, right?
Yeah.
It's not cheap. It's like, I mean, just to play on a course, especially depending on the course.
Costs you $200 more.
I
I mean, if it's a groupie, it's going to cost.
And do you have to know people to play the course, or can you
depends
just
on
go?
the
If you
course.
rent clubs, and you pay the green fees, and by the time you eat,
and a cart?
it's a
you
$200
eat?
day. Yeah. For 2 of you, it's going to cost you some money. Depending. I mean, you go to Malibu Country Club, which is a public course, it's going to cost you $300 altogether.
It's not a cheap
They're
sport.
not giving it away.
I'd
Oh,
rather
by the
go-
way, I got to buy balls. I got to buy a glove. I never have a glove.
I need all the
I got all
stuff.
the
Yeah, I
shit.
need
I got to
all the
buy a
stuff.
hat. I forgot a hat.
I have to have
Sunblock.
a hat.
I gotta have
Then
sunblock.
I need the cool polo from the Malibu Club.
Is that? Oh, you guys coming up? Oh, you got beer on the course? I'll take a beer. And
What? They make Jordan cleats? God, I golf once every 3 years, but I'll get them.
Frozen Snicker bars. I'll take about 6 of those.
Yep. Oh, wow, you have a nice fucking happy hour? Well, now I got to chill.
I went to this corporate one. It was so bad in Florida, and the girls who were handing out drinks were topless. And there were these girls, their tits were out, and I was like, okay. I was like,
Well,
hi.
that's not very
I was
professional.
like, hi.
The cart girls are usually always hot.
They always had their hi, and it was a thing. I guess it was sponsored by Playboy or some bullshit. I was like, how are you? I was
Tits
like,
out.
Yeah, can we get you a drink? I was like, all right, you're embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
What bad life decision did you make where you're on hole 7 with your tits out,
And I'm-
handing me a bag of Cheetos and an Arnold
And I'm with
Palmer?
these fat corporate guys who were like, fucking hot, man. Like,
Oh, what I'd do to get some of that.
They were like, God, you guys, at least you guys aren't hot, huh? as in the temperature. Oh,
Then there's
Jesus
always
Christ.
the fat guy who just has no filter. Sun's out, tits out, girls.
And then they always say stupid things like, the brunette looks dirty. She looks dirty. She's the one.
I hate
Yeah,
that.
bro, can you
I
read that?
hate that.
Yeah. She's dirty, is she? All right.
I've been with a girl like that. That blonde with those tits.
Yeah.
That tits.
That
I'm telling you,
tattoo.
all you got to do, man. This is what you do. Now, is this what I do?
Advice.
Sir, you are 300 pounds.
Sir,
With 7 kids.
break out your pocketbook.
Yeah. Unless she's a professional, you're not touching her. The only reason she's talking to you because she's trying to slang this fucking Baby Ruth to your fat ass.
That's right.
That's the only
Eat
reason.
this Snicker bar and shut up, and I'll smile at you.
I'm going to smile, and I'm going to have the worst swing on the course. Then I'm going to get balls deep with her on the back nine. We going back
Those
nine.
are my favorite guys, too, who spend a fortune on clubs, and they got the ball washers, and they got all kinds of shit.
Fuck you. Unless your name's Tiger Woods. Get on my
Fuck off.
face. I'll look the part, though.
Oh, yeah. Now, you look, you got to wear a collared shirt usually.
Have to wear a polo shirt.
Yeah,
Have
wear
to.
a polo shirt.
All right, what do you got, Chin?
All right, the next one is someone sent this to me. A babysitter in Oregon who she lost her license to take care of kids. She had like a kitty sitter job thingy, and then the police found out later on that she was going to the gym and getting tans done, and then she would feed the kids what's most likely sleeping pills.
Well,
during the time she went, and then they found out because they're investigating her, and then one of the kids told the cops that she forced us to take these pills, and then they were all groggy, they couldn't
Like NyQuil or something?
probably.
And then
like,
she's just going
probably Ambien.
gym tan laundry?
Yeah.
Well,
It's funny.
you're fired.
She's so bummed. I mean, that's a huge bad. The problem with
Look
the
at her
internet.
face.
The problem with the internet is everybody knows this. We're all looking at this woman who,
You're attracted to her.
I'm not going to, absolutely not going to respond to that. I do like the show.
Watch next week's current event. Crazy Oregon Annie finds job in Santa Monica.
Look, I'm going to give you a second chance. I want you. Here's the catch. You can watch my kids. You got to do it topless around the house. This is the way it is. She looks defeated. She looks very bummed out.
She looks like she's been caught drugging kids going to gym tan laundry.
Well, you can't. Yeah, and you can't do that.
And
Now-
also, when I'm hiring a babysitter, I'm like, okay, you have full sleeves? Both? Okay, yeah, no.
Dude, it's
Well
tough though
said.
because how is she ever going to find a job? I do feel bad
She
for her.
shouldn't have a fucking
Well,
job.
for her life to be ruined forever, I feel bad.
Yes, you're bad. What do you mean? I don't feel bad for her.
I do feel
you
bad
have
for
to
her.
own it.
I know you have to own
If
it.
you drug children
Yeah.
to go to gym and tan and laundry, you're
yes.
a fucking moron.
Yeah, she's a
who
moron.
probably shouldn't have a job.
I'd say she's a dum-dum, but I don't want her whole life
she's
to be
also,
ruined, right?
Well, she's also
That's all.
31 years old.
Yeah.
She's not a kid.
Yeah.
Let's not give these fucking people passes.
Well, she was her. Well, she shouldn't be allowed to take care of kids anymore. But I don't know how she's going to find a job in anything because people are so unforgiving. Well, she was away and found 7 kids, 6 months to 4 years old.
She went to
inside
go
alone.
to CrossFit.
Well, you
and
can't
tan.
you can't let those kids alone.
That's
Damn,
why she put him to sleep.
7 kids, 6 months to 4 year olds
No,
inside.
you're an asshole.
Home alone.
No, I can't abide by that. I can't. I got very small children. You can't leave them alone like that. Are you out of your fucking mind? And you drug them so that they'll be sleeping? No.
78 counts of first degree
She's
criminal
in big trouble.
mistreatment.
She's in big trouble.
38 counts of reckless endangerment.
You're a fucking dummy, man. Come on. Lethargic and sleeping. You drugged them. Nah.
Dude, just leave
You know
those
what?
little kids.
Sorry, can't
She's a
give you a pass.
psychopath.
Can't give
No,
you a
she's
pass.
a psychopath.
Can't give you a pass. You're a fucking idiot. Can't give you a pass.
I wouldn't trust that bitch with my Taco Bell order.
No, you just can't do that. 6 months to 4 years old. So many things can happen. Hey, you got to take this. No.
She needs to be behind bars. Let's be real here.
Hold on. She's got a criminal history, stealing and scamming others for her own personal benefit. Court records show convictions in 3 cases, first and second degree theft and identity theft.
Well-
she sucks.
Well, let's
the
not
charge
hire
is
her
currently
to watch
pending
our
before the court.
kids.
She sucks.
She's
She's the
terrible.
worst. Fucking see ya. See you later. Are there any full shots?
definitely can't
Any full
watch
shots?
kids.
Whoa, hold on. There's a great commercial with our shoes.
Yep.
Oh, because I was probably checking him out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or
Yeah, let's go ahead and
they're
get
just
rid
up
of
there.
her.
What else you got,
Makes
Chid?
her-
Yeah, fuck that.
Are there any
lady.
full body shots? Are there?
I'm sure we could figure it. We can find it online.
I just want to see what a hot shithead looks like.
January.
Yeah, let's just make sure. I want to just see what's going on.
Is her
with
first name January?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and see what she's about. Nah, because I just want to, just for research, I want to make sure, so I know what to look for in case there's a situation. That's all I'm saying. Yep.
That can't be her.
She's not
so-
unattractive. That is her. There she is. She's a body.
This her without tattoos?
No, there she is over there. Go all the way to
Far
the
right.
right.
This one?
Yeah, that's her. Yeah.
No, that's not
No.
her.
All right,
That's not
well,
her.
fuck off. Go to the one. That's her legs right there. She's not unattractive.
Yeah, so that is her.
She's not. She's an unattractive psychopath.
That's her too, with the redheaded kid that she drugged.
Yeah, but she practices identity theft. You're a shithead.
Yeah, bad person.
That's it.
That's a shitty person in a nice
All right, so
body.
this one.
She's a psychopath.
Rob Gronkowski. He was in WrestleMania, the one that just passed. I don't watch WrestleMania, but I'm sure
I don't either, but I wore my
do.
Andre the Giant sweatshirt in respect to it. It was Sunday night. They do them on Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh, that's awesome.
And this isn't the story here, but the story is everyone's upset that he did this huge physical thing during the WrestleMania matches, but he didn't participate in the Super Bowl at all. So that's the story.
Well, first of all, look at the guy he's hitting. He has terrible steroid acne on
I was going to say that skin is.
You don't get acne on your lower back.
That's crazy. That skin. He might want to go talk to his endocrinologist, the doctor who is prescribing him certain medications.
This is the other thing to me. I mean,
have you break out.
It's off season, so that's probably why. But why does Rob Gronkowski have a fucking tank top on? Probably just don't want to take his shirt off. He's probably not in the best of shape. It's off season. He had surgery.
It looks good.
Yeah, I would.
I bet he's a little flabby under there.
I'd be happy to have that build.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. Also, the Patriots won the Super Bowl without him. And they're about to. Adrian Peterson's visiting the Patriots today. If they get him, it's game over.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, I mean, also, they won the Super Bowl without Gronk. It's not a big deal. He's kind of been injury prone.
Well, I mean,
he's a beast of a player, though.
That's just the testament to how amazing Belichick and that whole coaching staff is. They don't need anybody. They do get it done with everybody who they have.
Would they be concerned about him doing this kind of stuff? Because wrestling is pretty dangerous.
The Patriots clered it, though.
That's what I'm saying.
In order to do it,
he
had
just
to get
showed up
and
did a couple of choreographed moves.
He I saw the video. He rocked that guy like that. But obviously, the guy's jumping there and falling down.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna get hurt. Hopefully not off that. I'm more distracted by the guy's back knee right now. And it's even on his quads and ass. That's kind of. I can't put you on WrestleMania.
There's an issue
if you have steroid acne all over your.
There's
back
an issue
ass.
going on. Yeah. All right.
I also don't think it's that big of a deal.
No.
Is that it, Chin?
That's it.
Boom.
Got a little drop in knowledge for you.
Oh, give it to us.
I had a thought. I read an article. It was interesting. Guy made a case for reading.
Reading?
For reading. Why
Do
read?
we need a case for it?
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people read. But I have a case that I hadn't thought of. But this is not my thought. This was his, and I thought.
What's
but
his
I agree
name?
with it. Can't remember because it's a foreign name that was difficult, and I'll find it. But basically, one of the things that I've noticed is that when you learn more about a subject, it allows you to become more compassionate to the players in the subject. So if you understand how cultures work, you're less likely to be judgmental of those cultures. Why? Because in your mind, what you realize is that maybe I would be the exact same way if I came up that way. So it allows you not to create these huge divisions of us versus them. It allows you, the more you learn about culture and human behavior, you start to understand that we all are part of a shared humanity. Maybe that's the way you break walls down. You don't break walls down by somebody saying to you, don't be prejudiced, don't be racist, don't be sexist. It's harder that way. It doesn't really make sense. I'm not going to listen to you. But I am going to listen to you if I know a little bit about why people behave the way they do, because it can allow me to say, if I was there, there's a reason I'd probably do the same thing. So reading great novels or reading great stories, and for that matter, really, this is probably the value of movies, but especially really good novels allows you to understand what it would be like to be people that you are not. It allows you to understand what it would be like to be a woman in a brothel if you're a man, a disabled person, a Nazi war camp survivor, a 12-year-old kid. And I think it allows you to understand what it would be like to be a person of a different religion. And I think that the value there is that when you share that experience emotionally, which good books do, they give you an understanding emotionally of where those people are coming from. It will allow you to become more compassionate to people you don't know, people you don't understand, because now maybe you do understand them a little better. And I think most of the time, division comes from that which we don't understand. and we fear it. And, you know, when you read a book about what it's like to be Chinese, maybe you won't have a point of view that is prejudicial, et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of a good way to kind of share common humanity. That's the value of great story. That's the value of reading great novels. So that's my case.
Boom, read a book, bitch.
Read a book, and it'll make you more compassionate, which we need more of.
And obviously and clearly read a book.
And obviously, clearly.
And obviously and clearly read books.
Why? Because
kids.
you'll learn something.
Because you don't want to be a moron.
Yep.
On top of it.
That's right. It becomes very readily apparent. Like people who don't read, it's like you got to read.
I'll tell you where you shouldn't read. This Friday and Saturday in Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. Don't bring a book to the Trucadero. We'll provide the entertainment and give you a view of what it's like to be rich and white privilege.
That's right, you guys.
This Friday and Saturday.
This Friday
Philadelphia.
and Saturday. Bryan and Brandon.
Saturday, Washington, D.C., 9:30 Club.
Yeehaw!
Few tickets left. Get them while you can, and then we are up and down to Nashville.
Up and down Nashville. Then,
one show in
then
Nashville.
Moon Tower in Austin, Texas.
And then we head on over to Austin, Texas.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
20th through the 22nd, Moon Tower Comedy Festival. Mm-hmm. Get all this at tfatk.com. Read a book. This is The Final Kid. We're out.